Rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just want to have total control. Living in
That is such a valuable piece of advice there.
These are the sorts of things that we should talk about right in the first 5 minutes of the podcast.
Started giving people free quotes.
In sunshine and rainbows, it isn't
Definitely a thing for just being a solo
The
operator.
change in mindset makes a massive difference.
Welcome to Aussie Lawn Stars.
Welcome to Aussie Lawn Stars. Today I have Beck from Canberra with me. Welcome to Aussie Lawn Stars, Beck. How are you doing?
Yeah, good, Garry. How are you?
I'm getting a little bit restless because I've been sitting in my dungeon all day just hiding from the rain and editing podcast content.
Yeah, no, you've got to be outside. I suppose you guys up north have been copping it a bit worse than us. We've had about 13 mils today.
Oh, that's probably
Not too
similar,
bad.
actually. It's not
Really?
we haven't had heaps here, but it's enough to make it not fun to work. And, of course, I've got plenty of content that I needed to edit, so that's what's been happening.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm just trying to work out how much rainfall we've had. I think it's very similar to what you've had, but I think Sydney has copped a lot more than me.
Yeah, they can have it. I think I got 2 hours working this morning till 9, and then it just came down. And it's eased off now, but, you know, still too wet to work. So,
Yeah.
home this afternoon, which isn't bad.
Yeah, well, I was intending on doing some hand weeding and spraying some neem oil on some hedges because it's got a lot of bugs hanging around particular hedges that I need to try and deal with.
Yeah.
Pretty sure aphids, but yeah.
Oh, it's the season.
Yeah, it certainly is. So that one there, I actually had the customer ask me about it. They're like, what are all these insects flying around?
Oh, really?
Yep.
Ah, what type of hedge? Because you guys have all the, what is it, maraes and everything up there, the lily-pillies and...
Yeah, we do. This one's not, it's not lily-pilly. I'm not actually sure what breed it is. It's got a really broad leaf on it, though.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it could be anything.
I'm not sure. I need to get better at my plant species.
Yeah. I need to get better at my Latin plant names.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yep.
it sounds perfect in your head, and then when you go to say it, it's just not anything.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about knowing the Latin names. If I could just remember the English names, that'd be a good start.
Makes sense. Cool.
Yep. But, yeah, so wanted to try and focus on Canberra and the ACT a little bit more. Those areas are a little bit different to a lot of other places in Australia, and we'd like to talk about the difference between Queensland and West Australia and Victoria all the time, but ACT's been forgotten.
Yeah, it does. So I'm actually in Queanbeyan, so I'm still in New South Wales. It's one of those border towns.
Yes.
So I have clients in New South Wales and the ACT. So
Yeah, okay.
I work interstate as a little joke, because lots of people do.
Yep.
But yeah, like we've been down here 8 years in December, and even from the Central West, it's completely different.
Yeah, I
So-
can imagine.
Yeah, like everyone's like, yes, you get your frost, but, you know, we've had snow a couple of times since we've been here. This year's been freezing with, -7, -8.
Yeah.
It's just extreme.
My friends have been living in Collector for probably the last 10, 15 years, and they've just sold their house in Collector. And I know every time we look at visiting them, it's like, oh, do we really want to go down to that cold hole?
No, you don't. But, yeah, like my eldest daughter's up in Airlie Beach, and she won't come visit us in winter. Like, there's not a chance.
It's
So
like me
just,
going to visit my brother in Tasmania. It's just crazy.
Yeah, just, 20 degrees or more difference, and, she can't acclimatise. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But we're used to it. We like it, There's heaps of work, there's heaps of things for us to do, and, we've been really enjoying it.
Yeah, so the types of plants you get and the type of weather you get there is completely different to what you get if you go a little bit further across to the coast or up to Sydney.
Oh, God, yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, everything's got to handle the extremes. Like, you don't get the heat that you get on you know, out here that you get to the coast and the frost and the rainfall. So I've noticed there's, you know, more extremes. So it's always hotter. It's been humid the last few years. So
Yeah.
whether that's climate change or just, you know, the seasons are a bit out of whack, who knows? But, yeah.
So you get more rainfall
It's a
than
learning
most
curve.
places around New South Wales?
I don't know. I don't think so. It'd be much of a much, like, yeah, I can't see it varying too much. I haven't actually looked into it. So,
Yeah.
but, yeah, just the heat. It's just the normal kind of, you know, from here, even out west to the central west and the tablelands, you get that dry heat.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, last year and the year before, we've had a bit of humidity with it. So,
Yeah.
hopefully, you know, a bit of a wet spring would be good and give everything a good watering and set it up for summer.
Yeah. So around here, so Lake Macquarie, when we get warm weather, it's usually with humidity. And once you're
Yeah.
between 25 and 35 degrees, the humidity is usually bothering, but not as bad as Brisbane. But once you get up over 33, between 33 and 35, the heat's usually enough to start drying things out, and you go from that humid to all of a sudden it's just a dry heat.
Yeah, no. And then everything's got to be irrigated and
Yep.
not fun to work in. How
Yeah.
does because I remember listening to a few of your podcasts with the battery mowers. How do they go in the heat?
Not a problem. So the biggest issue there is making sure the batteries are not just left in the direct heat. So if you keep your batteries stored in your trailer or the back of your vehicle, then you want to keep them in an esky or something so that it gives them a bit of insulation from the heat.
Yeah. But like even the auto mowers, the robot mowers and stuff, do they have their own garage?
Yeah, so
Like-
they do recommend having a cover over the charging station where they charge so that you keep the heat off them when they're just sitting there charging.
Okay.
But most brands don't actually provide that with them. I've had a chat to a couple of the brands and said, look, you're going to recommend that everybody has a roof over the charging station so it becomes a garage. Why don't you just supply it? It's Australia.
Yeah, I thought they'd come with one, honestly. It just makes sense, you know, but I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, most of them have it as an option, not an included option, though.
Well, okay. You'd think it would just be standard. I
It
suppose
should be.
then it wears out faster and they make more money.
Yeah, it's surprising that, you know, you're spending $2,000 through to $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 on some of the bigger robotic mowers. You'd think they'd throw in a roof for the charging station, but no, it's still $200, $300, $400 for a roof.
Yeah. Bugger.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yep.
Oh, well.
But yeah, it does make a big difference to the life of the battery if it's being charged in direct heat. So you can imagine Australia, we're talking sort of 27 through to 40 degrees in summer that just coming straight down on top of the robotic mower.
Yeah.
And
It's gonna cook.
if it's that ambient temperature and it's direct sunlight, then it's potentially sitting somewhere up closer to 50 degrees Celsius sometimes,
Bugger.
which is not ideal for a lithium battery and lithium fires.
No. Have there been any mower fires or anything like the scooters and charging? Or
I'm not
none that
aware
have
of
been?
not aware of any robotic mowers catching on fire. I know the only battery ride-on mower I know of caught on fire was at the show over in America.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't hear about that.
That was a demo unit.
Oh, wow.
So
That went well.
yeah, it didn't look good for them.
No. Yeah, back to the drawing board.
Yep, that's it. But Beck, I want to ask you a few questions about yourself so people get a bit of background for you. Now, being in Canberra, you mentioned that you've been there for, what did you say, it was 8 to 10 years?
Yeah, 8 years.
8 years now,
Yeah.
yep.
Yep.
So did you move down from Sydney?
I've moved a few times. So from Canberra, actually.
Yeah, okay.
And yeah, many years ago, I lived in Sydney as well.
Okay, so Canberra is South New South Wales.
Well, kind of central west.
Yep. Yep.
So Bathurst, orange. There's like a big triangle, young. It's in the middle of that.
Yeah, I need to have my maps in front of me so I know where things are, don't
That's all right. Blink and you miss it.
I?
It's got the Japanese gardens and...
It really is in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So if you draw a line between Orange and Wagga, you come through Cowra.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Gives me a good idea.
Very much a touristy, grey nomad town.
Yeah. And have you been in business prior to being in Canberra, or is this something you've decided to do when you're in Canberra?
Do you want the long story or short story?
Yeah, well, I do want to give people a bit of an idea of what you've done beforehand, so for sure, tell us a bit about that.
Okay. Well, previously in Sydney, I had my own cleaning business, so residential and commercial properties.
Yep.
And then a few things happened, relationship ended, and we went to Canberra. So as in my girls and myself.
Yeah, okay.
So, before that, I started studying the parks and gardens at Richmond TAFE. So I still completed that, driving down every week, and got that done. And I've done a few more certificates too from there, and still didn't start my own business till, when was it? 4 years ago in October. So coming up to the 4-year mark. But no, I worked for landscapers and different gardeners out there, and just learnt what I could, and was on the council for a while because there was no gardening jobs on the council.
Yep.
So, just get a lot of different things.
Yeah. So you've had fairly wide experience then, but you certainly have had some previous experience gardening and landscaping with other companies.
Oh, absolutely. So I've worked for some really good landscapers, and out in Laney and Orange, and just, doing mower runs that you'd go from one town to the next, and all the rural properties, and it was brilliant. I loved it. So I don't like sitting down. I struggle with that.
Yeah. It seems a lot of companies that are doing maintenance end up doing a lot of mowing and not focusing so much on the gardening. It's good when you find somebody who does focus more on the gardening, though. Yeah,
like the rural properties we were doing, like I worked for a landscaper out at Cowra, and we'd drive out to, Darby's Falls or Wyangla and spend 6 weeks paving, and, I'd just be on a tile cutter all day, every day.
Wow.
It was just, but like the locations were just in the middle of nowhere, you wouldn't expect it, and then with the mowing runs, we'd go for days at a time to just rural properties, and the vegetable gardens, the fruit trees, the hedges, they're just little oases you wouldn't pick, but it's very common. It's unreal. A lot of people spend a lot of time and money in their gardens, and, it shows. The effort's unreal. Yeah.
Yeah, certainly there's quite a few spots, like you say, when you head out west where you find people have invested a lot of time and money into their gardens and their yard around their house.
Yeah. And they're willing to pay for it to be maintained well, and like we did a few regulars that were in the Millthorpe Open Gardens, the ramble out there, and I loved it.
Yeah.
So, enjoyed it very much.
Yeah, so that's given you good background where you would have been putting your parks and gardens training into use.
Yeah, well, I also did my conservation and land management and production hort. So, I can pretty much, look after people's vegetable gardens. We were re-vegging lots of sites. I did the Green Army as well as one of their leaders, and planting all the trees and teaching all the kids, and it was fun. So
nice.
I can actually say I've done bits of everything.
Yeah.
So, you never stop learning, and, there's always something you don't know. You've got to learn it.
Yeah, that does give you a very broad experience, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's it. I know little bits of everything.
Yeah. Well, that's great. So that's given you a good basis for which you've decided to start your own business. But you did a bit of work in Canberra with other landscapers before you started your own business?
Yeah, when we came down, my son was 4 months old.
Yeah.
So I did a few little contracts for the Canberra council government. I don't know, we'll run for there. And just working in some of their sites and met a few people that way. I worked for another garden maintenance crew. And the only issue I was running into was everyone's casual. No one wants to put anyone on full time. And when you need a mortgage to buy a house so you can live here, it doesn't work. So I eventually got a couple of permanent roles. I worked at Duntroon for a while in the Harmon base through the Navy. And then where did I go? It's been a while. And then for a landscaping company, which was brilliant.
Yeah.
So, and then, unfortunately, COVID, staff shortages, they couldn't find many good workers, so they shut the maintenance team and made me redundant on my birthday.
That's not a fun time to be made redundant. Yeah.
No, I can laugh at it now, but didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
So, so it was kind of a wait and see and get over the shock of it.
Yeah.
And then I had people start calling me going, "Where are you?" Because I was there. I was the team leader and I was always the point of contact, and I kept in touch with the clients for, for every reason under the sun, plant questions, we're running 5 minutes late or this and that.
Yep. And
they all started ringing me. So I spoke to a couple and they're like, start your own business.
So these people had your phone number as their contact?
Yes, yeah. And no one had contacted them from the landscape company saying, we're not doing it anymore. Yeah. So, which was pretty poor business skills.
Did the landscaping company shut down, or did they?
They shut their maintenance side.
Right. So when they shut their maintenance, they didn't tell the customers.
I believe they told a couple. Yeah. But a lot of people were just assuming, because it was on monthly cycles, that, in 4 weeks the gardeners are going to turn up.
Yeah.
And they didn't turn up.
That's problematic.
So, yeah, I was a bit disappointed to hear that, but it left it opening, and I had a couple of them, which are, friends, I consider them friends now. Yeah. Just go, do your own. And I had a few other things going on, and I thought, time's right. I can do this now. Yeah. So, yeah, it started and hasn't stopped since. It's been crazy.
So you would have been able to pick up a lot of those customers without any guilt about taking them from the previous business at all, and they would have been very happy to take you and for you to be doing all of their work, no problem, no question.
Yeah, I sent a message around to a couple others I hadn't heard from, and just saying, hey, not sure if you know, this has happened. I've started my own. If you would like me to continue looking after your gardens, just give me a call or a message. And everyone did. Yeah. And the feedback I was getting from everyone that I spoke to was, would follow you to anywhere. Yeah. So, nice. I was doing the work. I know the gardens. They trust me. Yep. So, yeah, it worked really well. So I felt a little bit guilty, but I didn't, if that makes sense.
Well, you shouldn't feel any guilt at all there, because the company had just
I don't now.
Yeah, the company had just dropped the work.
Yeah, so the latest I've heard is they've shut shop. They didn't even bother selling. They've just shut shop. So, they gave a very lucrative contract away because they were too busy. So yeah. Like, okay, well, that makes no sense, because that's guaranteed bread and butter every week. But, hey, you run your business, I'll run mine.
Well, I guess this is one of the things I like to convey to my listeners, not the gory details of something going wrong for somebody, but the importance of actually knowing how to run your business so that you can stay in business and be profitable and enjoy being in business rather than having a situation like that happen.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like, it's tough. I think 90% of what I do is communication with the client. This is what we're doing. You know, this is our plan for the next 3 months.
Yep.
You know, what do we want to see? What do we want to change? And keep in contact. Like, you know, even if they don't answer a message or an email, like, just communication. This is the plan. I've got my eye on this. You know, I'm a bit worried about this. So I'm going to do this to try and, you know, fix it, and we'll watch and wait. Yeah, just that's what you do.
That's it.
That's what I do.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's important that communicating with your clients and keeping an eye on what's going on so you actually are aware.
Well, that's it. Like, you know, it's pretty cliche, and I've heard a few people saying that, but I treat their gardens like my own, and I spend more time in their gardens than my own.
Yeah.
So, you know, I want to see it flourish. You know, it's a reflection of the work I'm doing.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah.
I look at my own gardens every now and then and I'm like, oh, if my customers saw this, they probably wouldn't keep me employed.
Well, I'm sitting outside at the moment because it's the only quiet spot in the house.
Yep.
And I've got a bag full of strawberry cuttings that a client didn't want, so I'm going to divide them and put them up for other clients. And it's just like, it's still spring is like sprung, but it's still very blah in the garden right now.
You could send
And
me
I'd
some of
love to
those
plant
strawberry
things.
cuttings.
No worries.
I've got a little patch of strawberries in my backyard. It's beside my pool, and it's literally a quarter or a half of a square metre, probably a quarter of a square metre. And up the other end of the pool, there used to be 3 palm trees, which I removed very shortly after buying the house. And it's a case of going, okay, it's just weeds. I've killed off most of the weeds. I've put some mulch in there, tried to make it a little bit fertile. Now it's time to plant some strawberries in there and make that end of the pool just a big strawberry garden.
Well, there you go.
So,
Maybe, you definitely need more.
Well-
What mulch do you use up there?
depends on what I'm doing. In that case, I've just mulched up stuff that's from my own yard and just put it in there. So it's just slowly composting away. So it's a real mix.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah, if I was trying to do mulch, it depends on what it is as to whether I'm going for something that's just giving a covering layer or whether I'm going for something that's going to compost down into really nice material.
Yeah. What's the soil like up there? It'd be pretty good, wouldn't it?
Look, we get a huge variety. So there's
Yeah.
in my yard, it's pretty decent overall, but it doesn't take too much to find a bare patch of clay and well, there's not much going to grow there because it's just solid clay. But there's other areas where the nice dark soil is quite deep and, things grow really easily.
Well, you can work with clay. Clay can be good. You know, it can hold the water, it can hold the nutrients.
Yeah.
It's just the drainage part of it. So finding the plants that will happily sit in it in winter when it's cold would be the issue. But I don't know if you know, Canberra has a lot of quarries.
Yeah, okay.
So our soil is clay, rock, and just shale.
Okay. Yeah, that's not great.
Yeah. No, it's not. And wherever houses are built, you know, there's obviously no topsoil now. They take that off and they'll sell it back to you later.
Of course.
But it's ridiculous. So whatever organic matter you can fit in to your soil, and it's just a matter of just building it up. It's just it's really shocking. I was actually surprised how crappy it was. So
I had in my mind that the soil would be really rich in Canberra, but it makes sense when you've got a new subdivision. I've seen it around here where they just scalp it, leave the clay, put grass straight down on clay, put a few plants in a garden that's got to get a little bit of mulch over the top of it, and when you move the mulch, it's just clay. And
they put the matches plants there and they grow for a bit, and
and then they complain about it.
Yep, absolutely. But no, it's the only good thing I think is all the ornamental trees and the leaves. You know, you can get some really good organic material and compost and leaf leaf matter into the ground.
Yeah.
Don't mind me having a mental block.
All good.
And just build it all up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just looking at it now going, still got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, well, I'm 100% behind you on that one. Making the soil decent quality soil, nice fertile soil, is so much better than just adding some chemicals to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
I'm really liking Nutrog products at the moment.
yeah,
So I've got some really good feedback and just observing everything, all their fertilisers, and I'm trying their new compost at the moment.
yeah,
So on quite a few yards, and that seems to be going really well.
yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah, just as long as new garden beds, you've got to add that liquid gypsum just to break it all up and make sure it's draining first before you improve that top layer.
Yeah, okay.
It seems to be going really well.
I didn't know you could buy liquid gypsum. There you go. Learned something new today.
It works much faster than the powdered form, and you don't
Of
have to
course it
dig
would.
it in as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would make so much sense. So I know
And sorry.
with clay soil, that is probably one of the things that is most important, is to try and break up the clay one way or another so that you can get the nutrients accessible to the plants. And so typically I would say aerating serves its best purpose in a soil like clay.
Yes. Yeah.
A lot of people will just
So there's
aerate everything, but I'm like, okay, if it's clay, it actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Well, everything can be aerated because, it depends on how compacted it is as well. Like, if there's no oxygen in the soil, nothing's going to grow.
Yeah.
So it's just looking after the soil and the microbes and, making sure everything is alive.
But see, clay is compacted by its very nature, whereas your sandy soils and your nice loamy soils, they typically, if there's plants there, they're not going to compact very quickly because the roots are going to keep the soil moving, and the all the organic matter in there is going to keep things moving around. So you don't really need to aerate that a lot unless it's been killed off, so there's no plant life there, and it's still going to take a while for it to compact.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like tree roots and plant roots, they'll work their way through it.
Yeah.
So, it's just, I don't think it's bad, but it's not bad. But then look at WA, like they have to buy clay to put in their soil. So we're lucky.
Yeah, for sure. So the Nutrog products are all about improving the soil quality.
Yeah, absolutely. And like the microbes, organic matter.
Yep.
Yeah, they go really well. And I'm finding, like, you've got your sudden impact for roses, which are obviously for roses.
Yeah.
But they're for everything for flowers. And even citrus trees love them. Put it on your strawberries, or you can go the gigantic as well, the fruit trees. And it's working really well. So I'm enjoying that. I'm still trialling the top buxus for all the buxus down here.
Yep.
They're still pretty yellow. It's a bit cold. But
I've noticed with the buxus that I've been looking after, I haven't used top buxus, but similar types of products. And I put some down just coming out of autumn, so just before winter came in. It made almost no difference to it at all, but just in the last 2 weeks, the amount of growth that's coming out of the buxus that I'm looking after is amazing. And I'm like, they were looking rather dead, and a couple of them have actually died off, but most of them that had some sort of life left in them are just looking like they're new plants all of a sudden.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
I think buxus, hedges in general, but buxus are really obvious. They're really thirsty plants.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah. And this year, I haven't seen any green ones. It's just been that cold. But they just need, that regular feed as soon as it starts warming up, and they'll be fine.
Yep.
But a lot of people don't do that. So you'll see a lot.
Yep.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
Canberra loves its hedges, don't you?
Yes, of course. So I'm guessing buxus would be one of the big ones there because it's a nice formal hedge. But what's the predominant hedges you see and you work with?
Probably viburnum, pittosporum, or what is it, Leylandii? cypress,
Yep.
the cypress pine,
Yeah.
anything that's big that you can't see, the neighbours.
Yep.
Front fences actually aren't allowed in Canberra.
Wow.
Because that was part of their, I've read it's part of their plan when they made it. So you're not allowed a front fence. So everyone put hedges or I'm seeing a lot more of the cyclone fencing now, the wire mesh.
Yeah, okay.
And, people grow fences on either side of that.
Yep.
But, there's not as much Virginia. There is, obviously a lot, but
Yeah.
the Pittosporum and the viburnum is just,
Yeah, the
at the
Pittosporum is absolutely everywhere. I've seen a lot of it around here as well. But the the lily pillies and the photinias are quite common around here.
Yeah, no, lily pillies don't survive here at the moment.
Yeah.
So it's got to be a really very sheltered spot, and they'll do okay. But for a hedge out in the open, not a chance.
Yeah, well, the lily pillies at my dad's place, I trimmed them about 6 weeks ago, so middle of winter, and then I just gave them a trim yesterday again. They needed it because they were already getting ugly.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's quick, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, if you're getting paid to do it, then they're going to say, go away, come back in 3 months instead of 6 weeks. But, it's my dad's. I'm over there because he lives next door to me, and I'm over there visiting, and I'm like, oh, man, your lily pilly needs a trim. So I went and grabbed my hedge trimmer, gave it a tidy up.
Yeah. Well, I find, the more you do it, the neater it stays, the less time it takes.
Yeah.
But obviously it depends on the client as well. Like I've got a few clients and I usually work with my clients either a monthly visit or a fortnightly visit. There's those that have the months and so on. So one of my fortnightly is just hedging all day. They've got small leaf privet everywhere in the buxus and it's a day of just hedging.
Yeah.
And then others are like, maybe quarterly we'll do that. It's like, okay, whatever you want to do, that's fine. It'll just be a bigger day that day. So, but some are much more high profile, as in, where they live and bigger houses, and everyone drives past, and they've got to be the nicest in the street.
Yeah, so you go there
sure they
fortnightly.
are. Yeah. That's what they want, that's what they get.
I'm Garry Ashton, and I'm here to help business owners succeed and enjoy being in business. Does running your business feel chaotic? Maybe you started it for freedom, to live the life you wanted, but now you're stuck in the grind, overwhelmed and exhausted. The stress doesn't stop. You work harder, but nothing really changes. Get real support at Think Tank Coaching. Get crystal clear on future goals, your ideal customers, and the numbers to focus on that will move your business forward. If you're ready to make a change, let's talk. Book your free strategy session now at thinktankcoaching.com.au.
And then, it reflects me as well. People driving past and looking at it and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you do much lawn mowing or is it mostly gardening?
Mostly gardening. So I've got a few clients where I'll just do the edges of their lawn because they like mowing. So that's good. They can have that.
Yep.
And then I've got my other clients where I'll mow. So depending on how often I go there, it'll either be monthly or fortnightly.
Yeah.
Some obviously need fortnightly going into spring or the end of spring when everything starts going a bit crazy.
Yeah.
But, it's mainly just the gardening.
Yeah.
Hedging, weeding, planting, mulching. I've done a lot of mulching the last few months. But
winter is a good time to put mulch down, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And I've got a couple of clients that wanted the same mulch, so we did them at the same time. And 46 tonne of cypress pine, and that stuff does not shovel.
Yeah.
It does not shovel. It's horrible. It looks brilliant, and you know they like it. That's what they want. But it's a good workout.
So going back to your question before, what type of mulch do I use a lot of? And I was talking about my own yard before, which is just a bit of everything. But what I've done a lot with is your hardwood chip.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a go-to. It's easy. It's either free or very cheap. And then go to like a pine bark if it's something that needs to look a little bit more formal.
Yeah, yeah. that's my go-to for. We have a lot of forest litter down here, which is cheap,
Yep.
but the amount of rubbish that comes in it, and
Yep.
it just adds to the soil level. Like, it doesn't break down; it becomes water repellent.
Yep.
And it's just the dust and the crap in it. So
Yeah,
Canberra,
I've found that
my
too.
go-to.
I did
Yeah.
somewhere. It was a mixture, and ended up being more palm fronds in it than anything else.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
But
I suppose it depends on the day what gets delivered, and
Yeah. normal forestry mulch or mixed mulch is usually like one type of tree that's got a lot of the wood chipped up, but then it's also got the bark and the leaves and the smaller branches in it as well.
yeah.
But yeah, that
Do you get much like rubbish in it, or just
it does vary. So there's
yeah?
some I've had where I've been able to work with the tree loppers really closely, and it's been good. So mostly wood chip, and then a little bit of stuff from the same trees. But then, like I said, got that lot which had palm fronds in the middle of it, and it's like, oh man, that's hard to work with.
Yeah, especially the stubby bit.
Well, the palm fronds just don't chip well.
No, they wouldn't.
Some parts of it do, and the parts that do chip well, they're really nice because they're so fibrous that they give you a nice shield from the weather. They help to keep the moisture in and the heat out, so they work really well. But yeah, the rest of the frond, it's just all that leafy stuff. It just ends up all over the place, makes a mess, and it's hard to pick up with the mulch fork.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah, no, you can have that. But I've actually done a couple of yards with sugarcane because their soil was that repellent, like new yards that clients have moved into, and the soil just needed amending. So just the plan is for a couple of years we're just going to keep adding, booster, everything organic that we can into it, and the sugarcane, and then we'll just dig it all in, and or even just leave it there to break down once it's really fine, and put some good quality mulch on top. Just trying to build that organic matter up. It's just it was shocking. You're going to put a shovel in.
I found sugarcane mulch can give you a really protective layer. It ends up almost like thatch in your lawn if you put it on really thick. But
I've heard that, but I haven't found that yet. I'm still waiting.
Yeah, I have found mostly it's pretty good in terms of it composts fairly quickly. And like you say, if you put a good quality mulch on top of the sugarcane, it should compost down into the soil and add quality back in.
Yeah. Well, that'll probably be the aim next year.
Yeah.
I won't bother, topping it up. We'll just see how it goes.
Yeah.
And, But between that mulching, it's, I find most of the time I'm trying to teach clients, how to water properly. Instead of just spraying the tops of plants and watering the canopy, it's like, okay, well, how are we going to get the water to the roots? Just not that little squirt. It needs to be watered for, if they've got drip irrigation, leave it on for an hour or two. But and less often. Just we want the water going down as far as we can. Yeah, and it takes a while.
So
you're
better off doing an hour and a half, 2 hours twice a week rather than doing 10 minutes every day.
Yeah. And that's where I find a lot of people are getting those bigger bills because they've got to keep watering every day because they're not watering.
And if it's hot, then it just evaporates before it actually penetrates the soil.
Yeah. And there are wetting agents. We can, just help it go down a bit more. And, some people are brilliant and others they stress. They've lost too many plants before and it's part of the learning curve. So we'll get there.
Yep.
Yeah, right plant for the right spot helps.
Yeah, so that's something you would have learnt with all of the training you've done in terms of planting plants in the right places. Do you do a lot of planting or do you move plants for people when they've got them in the wrong place?
Both. And the suggestions, like I've got a few clients that they want hydrangeas and the hydrangeas keep dying but they're in full sun all day and, or they've got a few plants that can clearly cope with Canberra weather and, up to -10, but they'll frost cover them and baby them and, make them a little bit soft and then forget to water them and they die and the cycle continues.
Yep.
Although I did have a good one the other day. I had a client and had been losing, the maple's been going downhill for the last year. I had no idea why. So I even tried, root rot solutions. Like it was rotting the cambium layer from the trunk. It looked like it had collar rot, but it wasn't. If that makes sense. Like it was down further.
Yeah.
So they made the decision, okay, we're going to get rid of it. We'll plant a new one. And digging this thing out, they planted it quite a few years ago and had the dripper grown into the bark and then was slowly dripping like nearly internally in this maple.
Yeah.
It was just whatever I was going to do wasn't going to work. it was going to rot. So
I saw a reel on Instagram today. I don't know if you follow Beta Mower Life, I think it's called. They had cut this tree. They hadn't actually fully cut it down, but they'd cut the wedge into the tree ready to fall it. And where they'd cut the wedge into the tree, it was like a tap. The water was coming up through the trunk of the tree like a little fountain.
Yeah, I think I saw that. That's so cool.
And the comment there was that they expected the tree had actually grown around the water main, so the water pipe had broken and come up through the trunk.
Yeah, that's a pretty good feature.
Yeah.
People pay for things like that. But, plants are amazing.
If they left the tree like that with the wedge cut out of it and put a little artery from that water going from there up into the main part of the trunk, they could probably save the tree and make it a real feature.
Problem solved. But, it blows your mind what trees can do and put up with.
Yeah,
so,
certainly does. So, if you're talking about that one there where you've pulled that out of there and found the dripper was in the middle of the maple.
Yes. Yeah. It was, at least they listened to me on watering for 2 hours. So for 2 hours every day, or not every day, but every second, third day, this thing was just getting soaked. So now I know it wasn't the soil, it wasn't the watering, it wasn't the mulch around the trunk. There wasn't a big clay patch. It was the dripper.
Yeah. Now maples
and you can't see that.
Yeah, maples are one of those trees that you sort of identify with being around the ACT. They really do thrive in the southern highlands and down around there.
Oh, absolutely. It's gorgeous.
Yeah. I planted...
There's so many ornamentals. That's the problem. There's too many leaves. You know, we have a big leaf season.
Yep.
So
I can imagine.
Don't have that. Yeah, it just goes and goes, and then you think it's finally over, and the pinnotes decide to finally fall, and it starts all over again.
Yeah, well, I've got
it's pretty.
I've got quite a lot of trees that drop their leaves where I'm working, and it's fairly constant for probably about 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like ute loads or van loads, I should say, of leaves, or you just
Well, yeah, it certainly adds up over time, but it sort of becomes a daily thing where you're trying to clean up and then hope it's going to look good for a little while.
Do you run over the lawnmower to pick them up, or do you pick them up by hand? How do you get rid of all your leaves?
It depends where they are. So we're talking commercial premises where I'm looking after them, and that means that sometimes it's blowing them out of sight. Sometimes it's blowing them onto a lawn and mowing them, or in one case I've got the robot mower that mows over them and mulches them up quite nicely.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say some of them it is a case of going over with the ride on, with the Catch Pro on, and picking them up and taking them away. And it's there's a few Norfolk pines where it's when they drop their needles, that's insane.
That would be annoying.
Yeah. It is.
No, I've taken this year. I've really started mowing leaves up. It's just so much quicker.
Yep.
after bag, and I can fit more in the trailer.
Yeah.
And it saves so much time. I was actually very surprised.
Well, they mulch down really fine, so you certainly save a lot of space by doing it.
Oh God, yeah. Instead of doing 3 or 4 loads of this, I can do one. So
That's it.
very easy. So
Yep.
whatever tips and tricks you can do, that makes it easier for you, definitely do it.
Yep. But yeah, I've found if you have the mulch plug in the mower and you go over them 2 or 3 times, they disappear. And sometimes even one run is enough for them to disappear. But yeah, certainly if you catch them with the mower and bag them, take them away.
Yep.
It's much neater.
Definitely worth it.
Yep.
Except if there's acorns, you just got to watch them because they like flying.
Yes.
Yeah, they're not good, but the rest is okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you said you've been in business for about 4 years now.
Yeah.
And it didn't take you very long to get busy.
No.
So
Good.
I'm going to start asking business questions if you can handle that.
Oh, yeah. I think I can manage that.
In terms of getting busy, did it take you long to make sure you were profitable, or did you have a fairly good idea on what rates to charge already before you started your own business because you'd been working as a leading hand?
Yes. So I did a very rough, work out, okay, this is what I want to charge. So I started charging hourly, as everyone does.
Yep.
And what was I charging? I was charging $85 an hour.
And that's reasonable.
Quickly, yeah, it was. And I was working off the 2-hour visits or a 4-hour visit, fortnightly or monthly, and that seemed to work.
Yep.
Then I decided I don't want to do 2 hours, there's too much running around. And, it could be 10, 15 minutes to the next job.
Yep.
But no, not worth it. So I started doing the 4-hour visit, and that seemed to work. And then I was getting too busy, so I could, try and do, one suburb this day, one suburb this day.
Yep.
And then people wanted fortnightly again. And it's like, okay, what do I do? So I've gone back to I've got quite a few Department of Veteran Affairs clients now that just, they must talk and run me, which is nice. So I've got a couple of DVA days a month, and they just do 2 hours, which is good. So, and they're all in the same suburb, which is brilliant.
Yep.
So I can go from 7 till 4 in the afternoon and drive less than 2 kilometres.
Yeah.
And then the rest were, I've pretty much got 4 hours for everyone else, even fortnightly 4 hours visits.
That's good. Yeah.
What was the question? It's like I'm thinking too hard. It's like, I'm all right. I'm thinking in my head and answering in my head.
Yeah, well, that would work pretty well for you in terms of the efficiency of the business, not having to race around between different jobs. So you're doing 2 or 3 jobs in a day rather than 8, 10, 12 jobs in a day.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, because I don't just do mowing, I can be hand weeding, which actually I'm one of those people that love, or I can be, mulching, pruning, pest management.
Yep.
Every visit I have my notes and I write them down. But I did make the mistake of I should have put my prices up sooner and quote for, okay, so this person has a 30-metre long hedge and they want it down, half a metre.
Yep.
I wasn't giving them quotes outright for that, where I know looking back, yes, I should have. But, live and learn. My profits would have been much better, but, they're not too bad because I'm a sole trader. I've got no interest in firing anyone. Then I've got to work harder to pay for them.
Yeah.
Just, it seems to work, and, I haven't really looked back. I knock back at it now. I can't take anyone on. It's ridiculous. I've got no complaints. Like, it's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
So, but, and I've got all. What do I use? I use all the Still battery power tools. So
Yeah, okay.
started with them.
Yep.
Yeah, because one company I worked at, they were trialing the Husqvarna gear when that first came out,
Yeah.
and I wasn't that impressed with it at the time.
Yeah.
So, and then I've always used the Still petrol stuff.
Yep.
And I've viewed the guys down at the local store from constantly going there to get things and, put
Yep.
things in to get fixed.
Yeah.
So they're brilliant. So I just went Still. I haven't even tried any other battery stuff. And
So you went straight to
never-
battery when you started your business rather than going with petrol. Yep.
Yep,
And I guess
no petrol.
because you're not doing a lot of lawn mowing, you wouldn't notice a disadvantage there. Everything you're using would be fairly efficient with the battery tools.
Yeah, absolutely. I started with the little, what is it, the RMA 510, is it?
Yep.
The push mower with the
Yeah.
AP series. And 3 batteries. I bought the combi tool attachment.
Yep.
But it was with the umbilical cord, and I've still got that. 'Cause,
Yeah.
it still all goes.
Yep.
That's what I started with. And I slowly upgraded all the hedges first.
Yeah.
I've got half a dozen different hedges and a couple of backups in case, a module goes. I've had a few problems with them. But,
Yeah.
I've just slowly been upgrading all that. And I've since got an Atom Edger.
Yep.
I've recently purchased a little petrol rotary hoe
Yep.
just for digging some really crappy yards.
That's a really handy thing to have, isn't it?
It is, but the selling point is because a few places have astroturf now or the paving, which then grows mould, which dies in summer.
Yeah.
I can put the sweeper attachment on it.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
and I've got the sweeper attachment for the combi, but I can put the bristles on the powered unit, the petrol powered unit,
Yep.
and tidy up pavement without
Yep.
having to kind of shovel dead moss out and different things. So
Yeah, that's a
Well, no,
very
that-
effective way of cleaning the pavers and the concrete.
yeah, so give it a go.
Yep.
Might be a mistake purchase, but so far it hasn't been.
So is that
You never know.
the Atom rotary hoe?
No, that's the little Still one I got.
Little still one. Okay, petrol powered.
Yeah, it's a
still
new
rotary.
one.
Yep.
Yeah, so it actually, it's only a little unit. It folds up really neatly.
Yeah.
So just gave it a go. So I've used that a few times.
Yep.
But yeah, looking at everything that's in the garage at the moment, everything's Still. Like even the little chainsaw, the blowers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I've got my henchman ladders,
Of course.
which
Yep.
definitely help for the hills.
Yep.
Yeah, and then I upgraded to the bigger mower because a couple of my clients, they actually live on hills where I can't get my trailer up
Yeah.
because there's nowhere to turn around and it's too big and heavy.
Yep.
So I bought the Still RMA, what is it, 7, I'm looking at it, 6.5. So it
That
has that
sounds
big
right, yeah.
battery in it.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's because my little one's not self-propelled because I can't
Yeah.
with that, it's got legs. But this one will actually drag me up the driveway, which is brilliant. Because then I can load a bucket up of all the other things I need, put it on the mower, and away I go.
Yeah.
So that seemed to work. And I needed a spare one just in case. There's nothing worse than forgetting something or something breaks and, I can't mow the lawn for another month, I don't have a mower.
Yeah. So
It doesn't sound good.
how much bigger is that than the, what do you say, it was the 510?
Yeah, well, it's got 2 blades. So
Yeah.
it's got to be at least 60 centimetres.
Well,
I'd have to get out the spec.
I've just been talking to Still, and I'm sure the numbers are actually representative of the size. So I think the 510 is a 51 centimetre, and I think the 765 is a 65 centimetre. But I'm trying to find details on that.
Yeah, that
now.
would make sense because my mower box, I think, is 70 centimetres wide.
Yeah.
And it fits perfect.
They've updated the 510 with a new model now. I just can't remember exactly what it's called.
Okay.
So the new version of that is different. Here we go. Cutting width is 63 centimetres for the 765.
Okay. There you go.
So that makes sense. 65 means it's 65 centimetres wide, 63 centimetre cut.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
And that one, I think the 510 for some of the grass is better, but I think the double blade, I don't know why, but like for chewing fescues and stuff, it doesn't give it a smooth cut. And I've had that problem and I've showed them that, and
Yeah.
brilliant mower otherwise. But it's just big and heavy.
Yeah.
So,
So the
after a lot of rain, it's not too good, but
yeah. So the new version of your mower is the 353, and that's the smaller one, and that's a 51 centimetre cut.
okay.
Yeah, so that's so that I know because I was talking to Silvio about it. They changed the numbers so that it matches across the range, so that the 353 now has the last two numbers of the size, and the 765 the last two numbers of the size.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
I can pretend that I can know it all now. But no, I got that, and the big battery that I bought with it, the AL 3000, the AR 3000 I've got with it.
Yeah.
And that's actually really handy in leaf season because you can, instead of having the little umbilical cord with the 300, AP 300, which can last maybe 40 minutes, this will last a couple of hours on the needle setting. That makes sense?
Yep.
A blower.
Yeah, so when you're doing a lot of blowing, then it's going to give you enough run time to go.
Longer. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
So that comes, it's a bit heavy at times, but it comes in very handy.
So you run that battery on your back with an umbilical cord? Yep.
Into the hand blower, the BGA, I can actually look at it. The BGA 200 blower I've been using.
Yeah.
So I don't find the umbilical cord too annoying.
Yeah.
I haven't cut it with anything, so yeah. But
I think
that battery does get heavy.
If you're using it with the hedge trimmers, that's where I'd be concerned about the potential to cut something with it.
Yeah, no, I've got a couple that I use it for, and I've never had the issue with that. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I've got to be a bit shorter and smaller for it to be, waving around, or
maybe.
No.
Yeah, it certainly wouldn't be fun. I have heard of one or two people cutting the umbilical cords.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, and I believe it could happen quite easily, but touch wood, it doesn't happen.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
No, but no, what else have I got? That's pretty much all. Everything I've got is orange. But like I said, like Stills down the road, the guys are brilliant.
Yeah.
I know I can get it serviced, pretty much straight away. Or yeah, they're really good there.
So how do you get all your gear around? Is it in a trailer or in the back of a ute or a van?
Yeah, so I've got a ute and then I've got a tandem trailer, which has got a mower box and a pretty useless tool side compartment.
Yep.
Doesn't fit a whipper snipper or anything. It's that narrow. So yeah, I've got the toolboxes on the ute with ladder rats, and that's how I get around.
Yeah, okay. So that's a fairly good way to operate. And I'm guessing around Canberra you haven't found that a problem with parking yet?
No, I can reverse the trailer, so that definitely helps.
Yep.
But yeah, I do a couple of places closer to the city, and you'll either get parking straight away or not at all.
Yep.
So you've got to leg it.
Yep.
I do a couple of penthouse space, and I've got to replant her plants, and I just take them down to the basement and out to the car park and down the street wherever I can, and just repot them out there.
Yeah.
I do one place there's a hospital that I did this morning, and I do her stuff at 7, and I just reverse into the driveway while I can because there's no parking on the street.
Yep.
So, I try and get in early before all the workers start coming, and I just thought, I've got to book you in at 7 all year round, because otherwise I'm not going to get in your driveway.
Yep.
So, yeah, if you have a trailer, apparently everyone's got to get in front of you because, you're going to be slow.
I've found that once or twice towing a trailer, I've had to put witches' hats behind the trailer so that people don't park right up against the back of the trailer.
Yeah, no. They can't be that silly, surely. Like, really?
Oh, there's only been 1 or 2 jobs I've done where that's been a problem, and it's right on a busy road, trying to load and unload a ride-on mower out the back of the trailer, and people just come and park like a metre back from the trailer. So, yeah, I learnt pretty quickly.
What do you do?
I learnt pretty quickly to put witches' hats out behind. As soon as I pull up, I'd put witches' hats behind me about 5 metres back behind the trailer so that people wouldn't park. And you'd still occasionally get somebody who would just pull in behind the witches' hats and try and block you in.
I suppose parking is a premium, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, not good. Well, I have had one spot where I take the trailer off and I leave that down the bottom of the hill. And I've had a person park near the trailer, and I thought, oh, God, please don't be there, when I'm leaving. And they weren't, thank God. But, yeah, I wouldn't have been able to get the trailer on. Just waited out, knock on everyone's door. But, no, parking's pretty good. So, and the car and trailer are going good, so I've got no complaints there.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'd like to upgrade it next year, but...
Efficiency is the thing that rules a business and the decisions you make as a small business owner. Right Mowers give you the options in their product lineup to match efficiency with size, fuel usage and the type of jobs you want to target, from catching to mulching or side discharge, from roadside verges to acreages and manicured lawns to 6 feet tall and super long. I've been using the Right Stander I 42-inch with a Catch Pro for manicured areas and the Stander ZK61 to maximise productivity for large open acreage mowing. If you need to replace your push mower, try the 32-inch Stander B. If you have more open access to residential properties, there's a 42 through 48-inch option that suits you. And if you want to enter the acreage market, the 52, 61 and 72-inch machines have choices in engine size and model type to suit the work you want it to do. Right Standards go the distance, saving you time and money, season after season. Yeah, fair enough. So the Ute's getting
well
old?
At the moment. No. I want a bit more power. So it's what is it? It's a futon Hunland. So the Chinese Ute.
Oh, yeah.
And she goes really well. I have no complaints. She's got a 2.8 Cummins engine in it.
Yep.
But they have a problem, and it's known for just overheating.
Yeah. Okay.
So if I pull in a couple of metres of mulch and up a hill, the needle's going higher and higher and higher, and I've already had to replace the radiator once.
Wow.
So it's like, it's a great ute, no complaints, but, a Land Cruiser or something would be nice.
Yeah.
Just something a bit more power. Then I look at the prices and go,
Well, even a Hilux or a D-Max or something will probably just be able to pull your trailer without overheating.
Yeah. Well, I was reading up on the BYD Shark.
Yeah.
And they have the problem of, flipping out and over-revving, and I just thought that's probably not worth it yet. I don't think the technology's there, but...
Yeah, I'm not sure about towing with the BYD Shark, but the things I've looked at them for is how they perform off-road. And initially, when they first hit Australia's shores, there was a couple of four-wheel drive enthusiasts that were testing them to see how they would perform off-road. And BYD was able to issue an update to the software and make it perform heaps better. So you would think the same thing would be true with towing a trailer and all the different things that we might want to do with it. It'd be a case of going, okay, does the software need an update? Have they got it to the point where it does what we want effectively?
Yeah. And can you put a tray on the back?
Instead of the tub, yeah.
Yeah, because there's another one out now, the Jack Ute.
Yes.
And I think they're very similar from what I've seen. So
Yeah, okay.
yeah, I think I might like the dirty diesel for a while.
Yep.
But here we go. So yeah, that's probably the aim next year, and keep this old girl as a backup, which is not old, 2016, and I think I've just popped over 130,000. It was a great buy,
Yeah.
during COVID. So
No,
that's the
you
plan.
did well.
Yeah. So that was fun trying to get a trailer in, 2001. Everyone
Yep.
else wanted one at the same time. And
That's it.
yeah. So, I do feel really fortunate that, as devastating as it was, everything really has worked out for the best.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I love what I do. I get paid to play in people's yards. Brilliant.
That's it.
It's not really work.
Yeah.
So,
So have you thought about employing anybody, or have you subcontracted to other people when you're busy?
I've thought about it, and I thought, hell no. 'Cause, I don't know. I've worked with people, and if you have a day off or this and that,
Yep.
they break things, or the landscaping company guaranteed if I had a day off to do something with the kids or an appointment, the next day would be going back to the jobs they did to fix them.
Yep.
It was just ridiculous, and the amount of stuff they broke, and clients not happy. So I just thought, no, it's not worth it. And then I looked at the sums just briefly, mainly from listening to your podcast and Luke's podcast. And I thought I'd have to work even more and just to pay someone, and the insurance, and I just thought, no, not worth it. So my partner helps me at the moment.
Yeah.
So he's not working. He's a stay-at-home dad at the moment.
Yeah.
For
Okay.
our son.
Yep.
But just with the school run, and I think I mentioned to you off there about the ADHD and everything, and he's settled.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
So I was knocking back work, and he was working for someone else, and we went, this isn't working, We can make them rich, or we can work for us.
Yeah.
So that's been working really well.
So he's stay-at-home dad, but he does come out and work with you.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah, that's good.
John is in year 2
Yeah.
at school.
Yep.
So he's going really well. So he does the school runs. We can't do after-school care. It's just too much for John. He just loses his mind.
Yeah.
Medication wears off, and
Yep.
not fun. So,
Yeah. Much easier to handle it if you got you or your partner at home.
Yeah, and routine is just huge.
Yeah.
So anything that, is change, or, a sudden change, it just throws him out, and it doesn't go down well. Not that he's violent and hurts people, but he just knows this is what I've got to do, and particular things. So he's our main priority at the moment.
Yep. That's good. Good to be able to make those choices, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It really is.
Yeah.
So, because before I tried for a little bit of before and after school care and phone calls, and actually drove past and saw them dragging him across the oval, and then they wanted to deny it because he didn't want to listen. He didn't want to go inside. He was happy outside. And I just thought, this isn't working. So I was down to working just one job a day, and knocking back work and missing out. And we sat down and went through all that, and working.
Yeah.
So, I think she's a bit sad that it was still that stereotype, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
For stay-at-home dad, but he's actually enjoying it, seeing John while he's little. And then I've had a few big mulch jobs, and he's come help me, or, he can drive machinery, so he's done some excavations for lawns and stuff for me, and irrigation, which is handy. So, that
does make it handy.
It does.
Yeah. I guess the other side of that is and you mentioned it, listening to podcasts and thinking about employees, is that it can be quite challenging to put on an employee, and you're paying a lot for having an employee. Are you getting a decent profit margin when you have them? But if your business is set up well when you and your partner are doing the work, then
Yeah.
you're not just making a profit, you're also drawing a wage from it, which is a huge part of where your expenses are in business. So
Yeah.
if you're doing a business and solo, it's quite reasonable for people to be doing between $100,000 and $250,000 turnover without a lot of job costs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, so you might have obviously your insurance and your fuel and maintenance costs, but unless you're so one of the things, the job costs you would have is putting mulch in garden beds, buying product like that. But
Yeah.
the job costs
So
are usually fairly low.
irrigation. Yeah, and the clients cover that.
Yep. Yeah.
It's an on cost, if that makes sense.
Exactly.
But I did think about it, but I'm happy where we are.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I don't want the stress.
Keeps life simpler.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but the one thing I didn't do was have personal income insurance.
Yeah.
Which I highly recommend everyone get.
Yep.
I may have torn my ACL and meniscus and had 6 months off.
That is challenging when you don't have an income.
Yeah, so we're in a good place anyway, but that definitely set us back. And
Yep.
Stu was still working, so that helps. And the
Yeah.
girls were here to help with John. But
Yep.
I recommend everyone have that because you may be invincible, but then, accidents happen.
Yep.
And don't jump off walls.
Yes. We all do stupid things. I think some of the stupid things I've done while I've been in business is go snowboarding and twist my knee.
Yeah. So
But
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's live and learn. You think, that won't happen, and I'm guilty of that.
Yep.
But so it's kind of be smart, especially when you're a sole income earner at the moment. It's just like, got to be safe. Let's do everything properly.
That's it. Yeah. No, I've had to have knee surgery, not as drastic as yours, but having knee surgery whilst running your own business does make you think about where your income's coming from.
Yes.
And I had to have all of 1 week off work, so it was terrible.
That's probably the worst thing about it, actually, was the doing nothing.
Yep.
For 3 months. It was just, how do people stay home all day watching TV? Like, I read everything I had. There's nothing to watch on TV. Like, it's overrated. Just wanted to be outside. I struggle doing nothing. So, it was very hard. And then I slowly got back into it with the full brace on my leg. And So, to go physio.
It would have been very challenging getting back into it.
Yeah, I was very cautious for a while. Like, going up and down the ladder, one step at a time. Cause
Yep.
I'm never going to do that again. And I've got rid of a few clients that lived on hills because I couldn't do the hills. Just walking down the hill and how much you stretch your leg out. It wasn't worth it. And I just thought, I don't need those jobs that much.
Yep.
So
fair enough.
I got rid of them, and I've managed to replace a few others recently that I thought I can do better.
Yeah.
So, as much as you like the art of that, it's just like, I think I can do a little bit better. So.
Yep. Yeah, I guess that's an interesting topic in its own, because when you're in business, you get to that point where you start wondering whether you get rid of customers that are not ideal customers for you, even though on the one hand you might have formed good relationships with those people and you feel like you owe them something, or you feel emotionally terrible if you dump them.
Yes. Yes.
But it's a good thing to be in that position where you can look at it and go, I think my business will be better off, or my health will be better off, my profit margins will be better off, my job costs will be better.
And it's a confidence thing. Like, I think only in the last 6 months so I've gone, you know what? I'm a business. If I went somewhere and I got this service, cool, that's a bargain. But I don't want to be a bargain. I want to be, good quality, absolutely worth it.
Yep.
Enjoy going to the job because they're paying me properly, not because, oh, crap,
That's
in
it.
pocket money kind of thing. I can't be a charity.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's what it comes down to. So, when I first started, I had a few people ask, oh, what's your hourly rate? And I said, $85.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, that's more than me. And public servants. So I'm like, you pay your own super and insurance?
Yep.
And they look at you like, what? You pay your own insurance and super and
Yeah.
what? What are you talking about? Like, well, you just said I earn more than you.
Yeah.
It was probably less actually, but
Yep.
I thought, no, it's got to reflect, the whole business has got to reflect itself. If you want something that's good quality, that's reliable, I'm not going to be the other person that didn't show back up.
Yep.
I'm going to be there unless it's snowing or raining. And then obviously we're rescheduling if I've got a spare day. But, I've got to make a profit. I'm a business.
Look, I think the right answer there for a customer who is a little bit nosy or just being reasonable and analysing what you're paying, what you're getting paid, is to let them know that in our industry, the wage component of that hourly rate is somewhere between a third or a quarter of the rate. So if you're working off $100 an hour, that's around $33 an hour for a wage. If you're working off $120, it's a little bit closer to $40 an hour for a wage. So, it's not unreasonable to charge $150 and say, well, if I'm paying myself $50 an hour as a wage, that covers all manner of things that I need to do outside of those paid hours. And for the fact that I'm an entrepreneur, not just a gardener.
Yeah, but I try and divide everything into thirds. So, I've got the GST and tax, like different accounts, and that seems to work.
Yeah.
But I think if you're on top of your paperwork and aware of how much, like even driving everywhere is half an hour to the first job for me, which makes it easy.
Yeah.
But the unbillable hours, like I don't actually mind cleaning everything on a weekend. I'm going to use it in my own yard, and I just ignore those hours. They don't count. If I want to clean the ute out and reorganise the shed or something, it's like, oh, this is kind of fun.
Yep.
If we're home, this is my time.
It's good when your business is the thing you enjoy doing, isn't it? And you can go, all right, I don't need to go motorbike riding to enjoy myself. I can just enjoy the things, the peripheral things around keeping the business going.
Well, that's it. It's my hobby. So, and I've actually met a lot of more people since I've been self-employed, whether it's Instagram or everyone's really friendly. You wave and meet people, and everyone knows everyone here, which seems to be good. So
there's a lot of
pay in person.
Yeah, a lot of value in making friends in the industry, and it's a good way to keep yourself grounded, but also to keep a positive attitude to what you're doing, because it's easy to get stuck in your own head when you're just working on your own, doing your own thing all the time, and wonder whether it's actually worth doing. But if you've got those friends in the industry, it's a sounding board. It's positive voice that affirms what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I haven't joined any societies or anything or garden clubs, but I'm trying to go to different open days and make things a bit more learning, or whether it's Collectors Plant Fair in Sydney or open days like this weekend. I'm going to a flower farm, and Paul Bangay is doing a masterclass in garden design. I thought, yep, I'll be there for that.
Awesome.
Just learn tips and tricks, because I don't want to be climbing ladders for another 15 years. I'll be pretty anxious by then. So I just thought, well, what else am I going to be doing?
I was thinking you're probably not quite as old as me, but that gets way on you, doesn't it?
Well, I probably would be quite happy to, but what happens after? Am I going to still keep gardening garden maintenance. Like, who knows? The body will probably fall apart by then. But
Yeah.
I've got a bit of arborist skills and different things, and
Yep.
I thought, I don't really want to do design, but you never stop learning. So I don't
Yes.
know where it will take me. If that makes sense.
Yeah, well, talking to you, chasing you for an interview and talking to you, and I've found out there is quite a good community of people in Canberra and ACT and in that area, and pretty supportive community. It certainly seems in your area there are more businesses that cover that broader spectrum of work, from gardening to doing the landscape construction and the landscape design as well. Whereas in a lot of places in Australia, it does seem that people stick to their own lane, like just doing one thing, like either construction or design or maintenance.
Well, I think there's a lot of landscape companies down here, like high-end, really well, like doing great work, landscapers.
Yeah.
There's a lot of garden maintenance,
Yep.
which crosses over to, a little bit of lawn mowing, or they do it all.
Yeah.
There's quite a few gym guys and
Focus on mowing.
and fox mowing down here.
Yep.
And then there's obviously the cowboys that come around, and I'm not sure what they do.
Yeah.
But there's there's no downtime, which, I don't know if that makes sense or not in the gardening. Like, there's always something going, there's always something changing. You're not just mowing or hedging all year. Even when the growing stops, like, there's always something to do.
Yeah.
So, I haven't stopped over winter. It's been ridiculous.
Yeah. And
So each year is getting busier and bigger, which,
yeah. Talking to people around the country, it would seem there's variation based on where you live, but also based on the type of work you do. So people who do more gardening than mowing, there is always something to do all year round.
Oh, God, yeah.
Whereas when you're in mowing, it is quite seasonal, and depending on your location again. So one of the guys I talked to in Tasmania recently was saying there's, like, if he was relying on mowing, he would have nothing to do for most of winter.
Oh, yeah. So what do they do?
Well,
do they do the gutter cleaning or mulching or?
Well, he's like you. He does mostly gardening and some mowing. So that means he's still got a fair bit of work to do in winter. It's more balanced. But yeah, I guess when you're looking at lawn mowing businesses that don't do much gardening, then yeah, they do get into all of that diversity of gutter cleaning, pressure cleaning, garbage cleanups, or garden, like overgrown cleanups, those sorts of things through winter.
Yeah.
And
you have to.
everybody wants a free mow Friday when it comes to their overgrown yard.
I don't know if that's such a big thing down here.
Yeah.
I haven't really heard anyone doing it or being tagged online or anything with it. So
Well,
I have to have another look.
The two most well-known guys in Australia would be Tim and Nathan. They're both in Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah.
you've got Sean from Blademate. He's up my area. He's just out near Maitland.
Yeah.
So they seem to be the predominant ones I know of. But, yeah, I guess there's
I can't.
maybe that's something you could do when you want to just be a Instagram famous, YouTube famous.
No, I wouldn't have the time. Like, I do a couple of love jobs for a couple of old clients, and, they're just happy to see you and have a chat, and, if you take some bickies round and have a couple with them, what's the rush? Like, they're this old, they've done their time. They just want to chat.
Yep.
They love the garden, and, I may have heard the stories 4 or 5 times, but, it's the company. Like, they've done the hard yards.
Yep.
They're lovely people.
Look, I think there's a lot of value in giving back to people like that. And, as long as your business is not all charity, then you can afford to do that without thinking about the cost and just go, yep, I'm doing, a few jobs, one job here and there that is charitable, and I'm not worried about whether I'm making money on it. And I find it easier to tell them, I'm not charging you for this job, but this is what it's worth. If you're going to go and tell your neighbours that you're getting a freebie, it's like, no, this is worth that much.
Yeah. So their families usually organise payment and all that. So I just make sure it's the last job of the day, and
Yep.
take it away.
Nice.
So no, I've got a couple of them. I enjoy them, but
Yeah.
yeah, I've gotten better in the last few years because I used to say yes to everything. So now it's like, I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, that's smart.
So yeah, because otherwise it never ends.
Yep.
So I'd rather just do what they're doing, and if they want to stand around and chat, and I've had a few clients like that, which I now don't have, would want to talk for an hour and a half. And
Yeah.
it's like, you pay me to talk, but then you want this done, like, pick one. So, like I'd get internally frustrated, like, I'm not working. I need to work.
Yeah.
But I think they want the company.
And it depends on whether you're getting perceived value, because obviously their perceived value, part of it is that you're chatting to them. But what's your perceived value in your business? Do you get value from, and for some customers, you would go, yeah, I'm getting value from having a chat to them, and it doesn't matter too much about the profit margin on that job. Other customers, you might go, well, let's see, I spent 20 minutes doing the gardening and I spent 45 minutes talking. That's worth $160.
I'm just thinking of all the dribble that I used to hear off some of them, like this person in the street and the neighbours are doing this. It's like, yeah, I didn't get quality content for that. It's like, yeah, no. Now I know why I said, we're not a good fit.
Fair
I
enough.
think it depends. It depends on the person, and some oldies don't get out and they live in their own little world, which is sad. Some are quite happy with that. Don't get me wrong, but they need to just get out of that little bubble and explore the next street over or something.
Yeah, and I guess that's why I say it depends on how much value you get, because I found with some of those situations, I have a huge amount of empathy for them, and I find that it does form into a friendship, whereas others, you're just sitting there going, oh man, I can't count the minutes quick enough till I'm done listening to this dribble.
Yeah, and it's sad because the only people some of them see are tradies.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And like I've got another client, and if I haven't seen him for a few visits, it's like, knock on the door, knock on the window, no answer.
Yep.
Okay, I'll email him, maybe he's asleep.
Yeah.
Because I know he has a few, problems and different things. Lovely bloke. But I'm like, he dead? Like, has anyone seen him?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's a reality now. A lot of people don't know their neighbours.
Well,
So,
I haven't found a dead customer, so to speak, but I have said goodbye to a number of customers because you get to the point where you turn up and nobody's there, or you get a call from their children or whatever.
yeah, I'm dreading that. I'm really dreading that.
I mean, that's the target market that a lot of us work in, is working with people who need somebody to help them because they can't do it and they're getting old and frail.
Yeah, I've got a couple that have just gone into nursing homes, and the families are probably going to sell the houses soon and different things, and that's fine. But it's it's sad.
It is
very sad, but part of life. But you still don't want it to happen.
Yeah, it is sad, and I think that's why I say some of those people, there's enough empathy there to be friends with them, and sometimes it's not that case.
Yeah, I've got a little old Irish lady, Nancy. She's 97.
Yeah.
So she used to have the home care nurses come in. She's still going. She's in a nursing home now. She's fine.
Yeah.
And, she had a few moments where, she thought it was back in the 1960s.
Yep.
Kind of cute, or she wouldn't have a hearing aid in, so she'd be screaming at you.
Yeah.
And just, the accent never left her, so you can't stop laughing at her. But, yeah. So the home care nurse took her around out one day in a convertible, and she had the biggest smile on her face for a week.
Nice.
It was just gorgeous.
Yeah.
So she's got a few pets named after her too, because she's just, beautiful old Nancy. So
Yeah.
I've got a dog that's called Nancy now.
Nice.
But yeah, you just go close to them. You know their families, and
Yep.
yeah.
And that's it. It is hard to know that they're getting old and they're not going to be around for long. But yeah, I know one of my old customers I used to look after. I hadn't done any residential work for ages now, but I saw their house come up for sale recently, and I'm like, oh, I wonder what's going on. I mean, you kind of know, don't you? But at the same time, it's like, well, I'm not in touch with them anymore, so I don't actually know.
Well, one of them, like another client I've been going to for 6 years, and her cancer's back, but she lives for her garden. Like, she's a gardener, as most of them are. And she was like, the front verge is huge, but I want it green. So I've just organised irrigation to be done and different things. It's like, okay, let's do it.
Yep. Why not?
Like, it's come back. You can't, and they're quite happy to do that. That's her thing. She wants it green. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So,
and
makes you happy. Why not?
I see this with my own family members where they're getting old, and I, try and be authentic about this. I'm not interested in getting an inheritance from my family members, and when it comes to customers, of course, there's no inheritance, right? But it's the issue is if they want to spend some money on something they enjoy, it doesn't matter whether it makes any relevance or anything to us. It's like if they enjoy having that verge nice and green and looking perfect, that gives them some joy in their life.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
That's it. Well, I've told my kids there won't be inheritance. I've pre-warned them.
Yeah, I've told my parents, I'm not worried about your inheritance. I'm more worried about your enjoyment in life and make sure you actually enjoy the time you got.
That's it. You've got to. You work too hard not to.
Well,
you hear all those stories, and like they're true stories from people.
After inviting Sortscape in to share how their software can help your business, we created a link for you to be able to support Aussie Lawn Stars when you join. Sortscape will save you time and effort with scheduling, quoting and reporting so you can build a more efficient business. Visit sortscape.com/lawnstars now to join, and thank you for your support.
Someone's retired in a week there after Christmas. They're moving up to, not Coffs, one of the beautiful tropical Cairns.
Cairns,
They're moving to Cairns.
Nice.
They bought a place, and 2 days before Christmas, he had a heart attack and died.
Yep.
And in a week they're moving, so she still had to go because the house is sold.
Oh, man, that's hard.
Life's too short.
Yeah.
So, you've got to do it.
That would be really challenging.
Yeah, it was just devastating. Like, she ended up getting me in just to, find the property and this and that. And just, what do you do? Like, you've just lost your husband, you've bought a new place, you're moving. Should have done it years ago. And that's what she said. We should have done it years ago when we were younger.
Yeah.
Do it.
But I wanted to know more about the things you do in your business that help you to run your business successfully. So we mentioned before you were talking about having different places to put money, so you can easily put a third of your money aside for different things. And all right, there's tax, there's other expenses and things like that. But what about your scheduling? Do you use a paper diary, or have you gone to a CRM? Do you use calendar and spreadsheet?
Well, I just use my phone diary, like my Google diary, like the calendar.
Yeah, so just the calendar on your phone. Yep.
Yeah, I was using a paper diary to start with, and, that gets wet and dirty pretty quick. So, I just find the online one, I can, write notes on that.
Yep.
I use the QuickBooks Self-Employed for invoicing.
Oh, yep.
So I can, there's not really enough room to write good quality notes or add photos to that, but otherwise it works for me. Just in my notes, in the Google Calendar, I just write notes, next visit, this or that.
Yeah.
If I've sprayed something, what I've sprayed, temperature, have I fed everything, or it's on the invoice, so it's a reminder in, 3-4 months to do again.
Yeah.
That seems to work for me at the moment.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So
I haven't gone to any wrong addresses or forgotten anyone yet.
so you use the calendar on your phone, and then your invoicing software for doing everything.
Yes.
Do you transfer anything over to a spreadsheet so you can keep a record of those notes, or is that just in the calendar?
No, just in calendar.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not that tech savvy.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And if it works for you, then why not?
Well, that's it. Like, I like taking notes.
Yeah.
You know, always, just
Yep.
it only takes 5 minutes, write it down. You know, even if I get in the car and think, oh crap, I'm running late, I've got post-it notes. I can just write a little note to myself, this, and, even if I screenshot it or add it in later,
Yep.
I've still got a copy.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome. Yeah, no, I think... I was going to say, I think Sortscape would be worth your while to look at from the point of view that it's one of the simplest CRMs for people to get their heads around. So in terms of not being tech savvy, you'd probably find Sortscape would help you to manage your schedule and your note-taking, photos that go in with it and all that sort of thing fairly easily.
Yeah.
Not to say you should.
Yeah,
I
I haven't looked into it. Like, I did for a little bit, thinking, oh, do I need to, change software and different things?
Yeah.
And because my accountant, he doesn't run with QuickBooks. Every other app he does, except for QuickBooks. It's like, oh, bugger. Well, I like it, so I'm keeping it.
Most of them will do Xero, but QuickBooks, there's certainly a lot of people that use it. So
yeah, he hasn't upgraded systems to that, so that's fine. So
yeah,
but I find it works for me. So if it's not really broken, I just leave it.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, but yeah, I should look into Sortscape. I've been hearing it a bit on the podcast and that, and it sounds good. But yeah, until I suppose I have a problem and it needs fixing, I just haven't.
Fair enough. And it sounds like it's doing what you need it to do. So yeah.
Well, yeah, like because everything's pretty much repetitive, or tomorrow I'm starting from the end of the day to the last job of the day is going to be my first job of the day, only because I want to see the residents. They're usually not home. But I've got that in the calendar and, I just had a look at it earlier because it's raining and I went, okay, cool, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Just quick, like, yep, cool, got it down. They know I'm coming. I'd never bother messaging anyone that actually I do. There is one client I do because her husband likes to walk around Starkers and I don't ever need to see that, so I'm going to message you the day before.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. You don't...
oh, yeah.
You don't want to be
I don't go into the backyard. So I said, I'm not going into the backyard till I've seen people up and moving, like through the, they're leaving for work and bits and pieces.
I'm guessing he's like an old geriatric too, not a good-looking young guy.
Yeah, unfortunately. So you'd think with, Canberra, people would have more clothes on, but apparently not.
Well,
so I said, I just don't need it.
I'm guessing it's still cold enough down there that you'd get a few frosts still.
Yeah, it's they usually say after November, the Melbourne Cup, it's safe to plant tomatoes.
Yeah.
And we're only in September, so we've got a few more to go.
I was looking at dahlias earlier today, and the recommendation for dahlias is similar. It's like after Melbourne Cup, and I'm like, in my area, it'd be fine to plant them now. In fact, getting that late in the season, it might even be too hot for them.
Well, I've got some, and I leave most of mine in the ground all year, and actually I need to dig a few up because they're actually pushing the soil up. But looking at I'm still out the front, I can see a couple of dahlias just already popping up. So, like if the soil's starting to warm up, they'll pop up. But I've got tomatoes in my greenhouse, I'll have fruit off them in a couple of weeks. It's just, you can get microclimates, but
Yes. Of
we'll
course.
have frost. Like last September, most people lost all the fruit off their trees because of a late frost.
Wow.
So
Yeah. See,
you can't predict it.
on an average winter here, we will get 2 or 3 frosts. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Does that mean you have ice on your windscreen?
That's sort of more likely to happen once every 5 years, 10 years.
See, we can have that daily for like a month, and then we'll get a windy night. Yay, no frost, and then
Yeah.
it's back again.
Yeah. So, yeah, we actually had a frost not too long ago where I walked out in the backyard and I was like, hey, actually, that is full on ice on the grass. It's not just a a pretend
Don't walk
frost.
on it. You'll break the grass.
It was like that. It was like that's actually really cold.
Yeah.
But,
but that's regular.
I went away without my wife back in 2018, and I know that date because I did a trip to Cape York, and it's easy to remember.
Okay.
I got a call from my wife when I'm up Cape York in the middle of winter, right? So we're talking early July.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting in 25 to 30 degree days, and it's not much cooler than 25 overnight. And she says, we had -3 and the pipe in the ceiling burst and flooded the laundry.
Oh, not your problem. You're away.
Well, that's what the result was, but I was reluctant to say that.
Wow.
I was like,
In
okay.
the ceiling.
Yeah.
You'd think it'd be well insulated in the ceiling.
Well, you'd think, but in this area, they don't get frosts that are cold enough to burst pipes. So
we'll have that. Like, and you've got to remember to, not leave hose fittings closed and different things.
Yeah.
Well, pop up if there's water in the hose. But you just. Yeah, it's cold. You've got to blanket over the windscreen, or I do the watering can because it just works easier and I don't have to wait 20 minutes. But but it's just I can't imagine it not being frosty.
Yeah.
Although you see some cars come in from Burra and Royalla just outside, like on the way to Coomera, and they'll have little bits of snow on them, and it's nice and cold. But it's good. It's kind of cleansing. It kills all the bugs, and you appreciate it a bit more when it starts to warm up. Like people were walking around in shorts and t-shirts yesterday. It was 18 or 19 degrees, and today I think we were 10. So.
Yeah, well, same here. It was much cooler today. I think we're sitting at 17 degrees now. That was much cooler because we had 28 degrees on Monday.
Wow. Yeah, I saw some areas in Sydney got 30 degrees, and I was like, wow, that's warm.
Yeah.
We are 7.8 degrees right now, but it's okay because it feels like 3.8. So we're good.
So this is why when my friends were down at Collector, I'd be like, hang on a minute, you got minus what? I didn't realise that existed.
Yep, and that's, they don't have to mow your lawn because it doesn't grow, and frost. People want to trim all their orange and citrus trees like right now because all the burnt tips and bits and pieces, but it's like, no, just leave it now. I know it's ugly, but we're going to get a few more frosts, and it's just not worth it yet. So
that's it.
No.
Yep, round here everything's ready to go. So after that temperature on Monday, I'm just trying to make sure I got this right. It was Monday. I know the temperature was the hottest on Monday, but it was definitely Monday. I saw a red belly black snake.
So Monday yesterday?
No, yesterday was Tuesday. Monday, 2 days ago.
Oh,
yeah.
Don't mind me. I'm thinking, where am I tomorrow? I've been up for a while.
So this red belly black snake was hot. You can tell they're hot because they move a lot quicker when they're warm.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't cold. He wasn't disturbed. He was disturbed because he was hot and he was in a hurry.
to get away from you, I hope.
Yeah. Yeah, I was on the right ZK moving along, and he heard the vibrations through the ground, I guess, and took off.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we used to see a lot of brown snakes out near Orange and Blaney.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, brown snakes like to, rear up. So when you're on a mower, you've got to be careful because they end up at your feet. That's
Yeah.
it.
Well, the
Seen
red
that a
bellies,
few times.
red bellies usually lay down low and go, go, go.
So that's good. Yeah. No, I haven't seen any. I saw a blue tongue yesterday, but no reptiles yet.
Yeah.
Touch wood.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
not a big fan.
Yep. Spring has certainly sprung here. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Yeah.
And then we'll complain that it's too hot.
Mm-hmm. Well, on Monday I was pretty close to complaining.
Oh, really?
It was hot.
Wow.
Yeah.
You need to come down south, appreciate the cold just for a bit, and then go back up.
No, I was starting to get over the cold, and then all of a sudden it was like, hang on a minute, that feels like summer. And, I keep some snacks in my car and things were melting, and I'm like, hang on a minute. I'm going to have to start thinking about what I put in the fridge again.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I put the Esky. I take that and drinks and stuff, and
Yep.
same stuff every day, same snacks. And,
Yep.
yeah, just hasn't heated up yet in the car. So
No.
batteries will be okay.
Yep.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
So
No,
is there anything else you want to know?
I was just going to ask you the same thing. I was like, I think it's probably a good time to wrap up now. I think we've covered everything that I can think of.
Yeah, I think so. I think the only other thing that, would be good is probably, I think there are more women coming into the industry,
Yes,
but
for
it's
sure.
slow like everything else.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it'll happen, but
Look,
all trades are suffering, so.
yeah, I guess it's worth touching on that from the point of view that I deliberately sought you out because I'm mindful of the fact that I need to interview more women than I have done. And I mean, aside from the fact that your business looked interesting and I was curious to know what you do. But yeah.
Gardening.
But yeah.
I'm a gardener. Yes.
There
needs to be.
There's definitely a growing number of women in our industry. The percentage of women to men is changing, that ratio.
Yeah, I think so. And I'm seeing a lot more apprentice landscapers, which is absolutely brilliant for the, young girls. And I think it's just not explained enough in schools.
Yeah.
Like we had agriculture when we were in school, but there was no agriculture jobs.
Yeah.
Like we were already on property and had horses and different things. So,
yep.
We just assume that's what people do. But unless people are taught or it's explained, it's just, I don't think it's a skill that's actually out there, if that makes sense.
Yep, for sure.
So, there's plenty of plumbing, electrical, carpentry, apprenticeships, and it's more the building side, not the outdoor, I don't know, hardscape, softscape.
Yeah, and I've seen that there's definitely been an increase in women in most trades, but it is good to see more women entering into gardening and landscaping too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I think certainly it's an interesting thing, interesting trade for women, and the women I've talked to, they all really enjoy it, like yourself.
Yeah, and I've had a few, older women approach me, as well, and it's like, it's just me, I've got a police check,
and
they just feel safer, if that makes sense. So just, instead of a guy walking around when they're home alone or not at home, they just, they've said they just feel more safer. They know me, they know it's always going to be me, it's not going to be some person every visit, swapping and changing. So I think that's definitely a bonus. But, I think, there's pros and cons to it. Like finding a clean toilet is sometimes not fun.
Yeah, for sure.
But, it's just part of it. If I can't lift it, then I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
So,
but I've certainly noticed the same thing you're you're saying there in terms of your customers are going to trust you more than they trust a man that looks like me. It's just
That's it. Not saying you're not trustworthy, but
no.
I think
I don't have any
yeah.
tattoos, and I'm not that hairy, but I am a biker.
I've got a tattoo, but you haven't brought up motorbikes yet. What's going on?
Tell me you ride, and we'll talk about it.
No, I used to.
You did? Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it's probably a bit of a cop out. I was on the Car Hill Expressway sitting in traffic and just scared the shit out of me. So I prefer a big metal body around me.
Yeah, look, I've lost a few people I know on motorbikes, and unfortunately there was a accident this weekend, which was really nasty. 2 bikes, and I know one of them. So,
oh, sorry.
It's something that you live with, and you go, okay, is it worth it?
Yeah.
And for me, the answer's still yes. Like the joy of motorbike riding is worth it. But certainly, my wife yesterday was saying that's always running through the back of my mind, Gary, when you go out riding.
Yeah, my partner had a Harley and he'd love another bike. It's like, no. You see the drivers and, you hear the accidents. It's like, no, please don't. His friends have got some and just, no, sorry, no.
Well, I've always said I'll go riding out on the back roads and enjoy the corners away from the traffic, but that's where that motorbike accident happened this weekend.
Yeah, not many to laugh, but those trees come up really quick in front of you.
Yeah,
so,
they sure do.
No, not worth it. So, I get their fun and, everyone's got to have their, outlet, but, it's usually, somebody else's fault, unfortunately, or
yes, that's true.
Just a bit reckless.
Yep.
So, and there's no coming back from some of it.
Yeah, that's it, unfortunately.
Yeah. But we're talking about sad stuff again.
Well,
so
look,
no motorbikes.
No, we were enjoying talking about motorbikes. It's all good fun.
I remember standing there, just traffic at a standstill, and I just went, I am so scared. So I got to be out here instead. Felt much safer, and every
Fair
time
enough.
young blokes, pulled up at the lights and they'd look at me and try and beat me. It was kind of fun.
Yeah, for sure.
But then you have kids, and kids can't go in the back of the ute, so
yeah,
that ended.
Yep. Yeah, no, I've had most of my kids on the back of the motorbike at one stage or another. So
no, they're fun. They're very fun.
Yeah,
but my sister's still got horses, so horses are still pretty cool.
Yeah, that's.
But they can be pretty silly, but you got to have a bit of an outlet, a bit of an adrenaline rush.
Definitely. Well, I think it's a good spot to finish up, Bex. I want to say thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Aussie Lawn Stars. Please remember to rate and review the show on the Apple Podcasts app or the player you use. Exciting new shows are released every Monday. Make sure you follow or subscribe to hear the next episode.